If you're trying to buy Canadian, the grocery store can feel like a shell game. One shopper saw asparagus labeled as Canadian and called it slapped on and misleading. Another kept finding conflicting origins on everyday produce, broccoli, berries, forcing constant double-checking. That's the real cost, not just money, but trust. So I built a simple 12-point scan you can use in under 10 seconds per item. Where to look, what wording to distrust, and how to catch the maple leaf effect when the packaging tells a different story than the shelf. Number 1, compliments cereal. You buy cereal like it's a pit stop. Quick glance, maple leaf, into the cart. That symbol works like a shortcut in your brain, but the front of a compliments cereal box sells a vibe, not proof. The real story sits in the fine print, an origin statement on the side or back, and a company address that can look Canadian even when key ingredients aren't. Cereal is high risk for maple washing because the supply chain is a mix-and-match buffet. Grains, vitamin blends, flavors, and additives travel. A Canadian badge can ride on top of global inputs. Number 2, compliments frozen meals. You grab a compliments frozen meal because it feels like a safe, local shortcut. A little Canadian queue on the front and you feel like your money stayed close to home. But frozen entrees can get built like a kit. The tray can be filled or sealed in Canada while the meat, vegetables, and sauce base come from several countries. That's still legal labeling, but it's not the local story you thought you bought. So you hunt for wording, not graphics. Product of Canada means the bar is higher. Made in Canada can still ride on imported ingredients, and the imported note often hides near the nutrition panel. Number 3, compliments canned. Seafood. Seafood is where shoppers get fooled fast. You see a Canadian shelf tag near compliments canned tuna or salmon, and your brain fills in the rest. But with canned seafood, 3 places matter: where it was caught, where it was processed, and where it was packed. The shelf sign often tells you none of that. Flip the can. Hunt for phrases like packed in or processed in, then find the tiny country line near the barcode or along the lid edge. Packed for plus a Canadian address is not an origin. It's a mailbox. Number 4, compliments tomato sauces. Tomato sauce looks simple, so you shop on autopilot. If the branding feels Canadian, you assume the tomatoes were grown here too. But tomatoes are where farm origin and factory origin split clean apart. Imported paste can turn into a Made in Canada label fast, and you pay for the comfort of that wording. Here's the trick: reconstitution. Concentrate ships in, a plant adds water, salt, sugar, and spices, then bottles it locally. It's like adding tap water to orange juice concentrate and calling it fresh. Your check is specific. Look for the exact phrase "any imported ingredients" line and a plant code near the best before or label edge. Number 5, compliments snack foods. Snack foods are where your willpower goes to die. You see a maple leaf on a compliments chips or trail mix bag, and it feels like an easy, good choice. But this aisle runs on stories. A shelf tag can wave Canada while the bag quietly says imported ingredients, or lists a foreign maker with a Canadian office doing the distributed by work. Use a fixed scan, ignore the front badge. Flip the bag, find the origin line, then check the address block and any distributed by wording near the UPC. That's the receipt, not the shelf. Number 6, prepared soups and broths. Soup feels like the safest grab in the store. You buy it for kids, for seniors, for I don't have time nights. But this is where wording does the most damage. Prepared in Canada sounds like a local claim, even when the ingredients came from all over. Separate these phrases in your head. Product of Canada signals mostly Canadian content. Made in Canada means it was made here, but it can use imported ingredients. Prepared in Canada is even softer, like reheating a story and serving it hot. When the shelf waves a maple leaf but the package hedges, that's the gap regulators care about. Number 7, deli meats and processed sausages. The deli counter feels local because it's sliced in front of you or packed and stocked in store. You see a Canada Forward sign and you relax. But meat can cross borders long before it hits that slicer. A bold counter card can pull your eyes off the only thing that counts: the label on the package or the case label behind the glass. Check for establishment info, a clear origin statement, and date coding, especially on multi-ingredient meats like sausages. That's your paper trail. Number 8. Sauces and salad dressings. You think salad dressing is a small choice, but these bottles are pure margin, and the ones that move fastest are the ones that sell a clean Canadian story. Here's the truth. A dressing can be mixed and bottled in Canada, while the oil, vinegar, spices, and stabilizers come from anywhere. The shelf tag can still lean hard on a maple cue. And here's the kicker. You'll see mismatches where signage claims "Made in Canada," but the bottle points to import, and nothing changes until shoppers complain. Number 9. Frozen entrees and ready meals. 2 boxes sit side by side in the freezer. Both look Canadian. Only one actually earns that idea. Ready meals get built across borders. Protein can come from one place, veg from another, and the final sealing happens here. That's when you see Canadian adjacent wording doing a lot of work. Do the comparison method. Pick 2 similar meals. Then read the origin claim line by line, not the front. Watch how one says "product of," another says "made in," and a third says nothing clear at all. It's like reading a contract in tiny print. Number 10. Compliments candy. Candy is the easiest thing to maple wash because you don't expect homework. You grab Compliments candy, you see Canada cues, and you move on. But that wrapper can ride on imported cocoa, sugar, and flavors, or full foreign manufacturing, while the Canadian part is just packing or distribution. That's like putting a Canadian return address on a postcard from somewhere else. Do a fast scan. Look for the manufacturing country line first. Then check the company address. If it reads like a Canadian office, not a factory, treat the origin as imported unless the label states it clearly. Number 11. Compliments household cleaners. You think maple washing is a food problem. It isn't. Compliments household cleaners can lean on Canadian cues while the bottle was made somewhere else. For a lot of people, origin equals trust. Standards, ingredient rules, even how strong the fumes are can feel different when you don't know where it came from. Flip the bottle. Look for a manufacturing statement like "made in" or "manufactured in." Then find any importer name and read the fine print closely because "Made in Canada" can refer to the formula, the fill, or just the final pack out. Number 12. Compliments paper and tissue. Paper and tissue feel too boring to scam you. That's why they work. A pack can come from global mills, then get cut, wrapped, or bundled closer to home. The shelf can push a Canada Forward cue while the plastic wrap tells a different story. Turn one pack over. Find the manufacturing country line. Then look for mill or converter info if it's listed. And don't get fooled by a Canadian distributor address. "Made in Canada" says something. A Canadian office says nothing.